Good morning, everyone. Welcome back into my kitchen. It's still morning here in Jersey. It's a beautiful sunny day out today. So I'm going to prepare me a lunch brunch because it's past breakfast time. And I'm going to bring you into the kitchen. And I have some porgies that I'm going to fry up. And I'm going to have some home fries on the side. So what I did is I previously took these potatoes and onions and I boiled them to get them ready for the pan. It reduces the cooking time. So instead of waiting for the potato to get soft and tender, you boil your onion and you boil your potato ahead of time, not till it's soft, just so that when it goes in the pan, it doesn't take as long to cook. So I have that ready. And I have my little glass of bubbly. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, your time zones may be different. Have a blessed, wonderful day. Take a little sip of my sparkly. So we're going to get started. I want to introduce you to something I found new yesterday. This is a pink salt, Himalayan pink salt. If you have white salt in your cabinet, they said it's not really good for you. This is a more healthier option of salt. It's pink. Look at the color, pretty pink. And instead of using the salt that we use, the iodine salt, this has no iodine in it. This is a pink salt, and it's Himalayan salt. So this is going to be a better option for salt when I use it in the house. I haven't been mentioning my husband lately. Have had some little setbacks, but thank God he's coming along, and that's about all I'm going to say on that. He's coming along, and him and I are praying. And we're looking for the Lord to work it out for our good and for His glory. But my husband had a little couple setbacks, but thank God he's coming along. So let's get started with this breakfast. Brunch, not breakfast because it's past breakfast. It's 11:19 here. It's not noon yet, so I'm going to make a lunch. So by the time I get off of here, it'll be lunchtime. So I'm going to bring you in a little closer to the pans that I have on the stove, okay? So like I said, in this pan, I'm going to put some olive oil. The pan is hot. And the reason why you do the potatoes ahead of time is because you want to reduce the cooking time. So you boil them in a little water, you put your onion in, and then when you put them in the pan, this bubbly stuff's probably going to make me burp a little bit. I'm going to try not to do it, but it's going down like in a bubbly form, and I haven't eaten. I did my ride this morning on my bike. My husband and I connected in prayer this morning. So now I'm going to cook something to eat and take you through what I'm doing here. Okay, so we're going to get back to these potatoes. I have the pan here heated. The potatoes are pretty much ready to go into the pan. So you're going to hear some sizzle. And these are not going to take as long as it would normally take if I just took them and did them from the beginning. I have the oil heating here for the 2 porgies that I'm going to fry up this morning. I'm going to take another sip of this. And I have my Nassau shirt on. I have a great interest in the Nassau lounges and the things that happen with the men and women going to the moon. So I decided I will wear that in representing of them, and then I'm going to give you a little information on them a little later in the video. So my post on the microwave for today is, there is nothing too hard for God. So we have to have that and keep that in mind. That when our situations look like it's difficult, I have it posted in my bathroom on my mirror, I have it posted in my bedroom on my mirror, and I have it posted here on the microwave. So when I look up, talking about the positive thinking, we did that last week, I can think and look at this, and it takes me to the place of positivity instead of a place of negativity. There is nothing too hard for God. And you can't just write this stuff down. You have to believe that there's nothing too hard for the Lord. So I'm going to post this back up here. I'm sure you can hear the potatoes sizzling. And I'm going to add this hamburger seasoning to the potatoes because I want them to have a lot of flavor. And I might add a little bit of the pink salt. I'm not sure yet because this has its own salt in it. So that may do it. So let me put a little bit of this in here. Make sure I have the right side open. And I'm just sprinkling it over the top of the potatoes. And I don't think I'm going to need, I might add a little more oil. I don't think I'm going to really need to add too much of anything else. Add a little OBD extra virgin olive oil on top. You pretty much let these start cooking. You don't start turning them. Let them get crisp on the bottom and then you turn them. So those are started. So over here, I have the, all right, just a second here. I have the porgies. They've been cleaned. They've been washed. And I have 2 of them here. I've already washed my hands. Here's the 2 porgies. You can see they've been seasoned already. Now porgies have a lot of bones, so if you don't like a lot of bones in your fish, that wouldn't be your fish. I'm just going to wash my hands real quick. I have some nice soapy, bleachy water down here. And my cute yellow rag to match my little scenery today. So I'm going to, what I'm going to use is I'm going to put the groundstone yellow cornmeal. I have some in the bag that I preserved from the last time that I cooked fish. So I'm going to use that, put that in there first. So we're going to use the yellow groundstone cornmeal. And we're going to use the unbleached all-purpose flour. So that's going to go into the bowl. Now, if you want that extra crispiness, add some cornstarch because it'll give the fish an extra crispiness to it. So let's get this started. So I'm going to take what I had before, the remaining that I had in the refrigerator. I kept it in the refrigerator. And I'm going to dump this into the bowl. And I'm going to add a little bit more cornmeal and a little bit more flour so that it's enough to cover the fish. So I'm going to take a couple tablespoons of the unbleached flour and put 1 more of those in there. That may be all I need because I do have quite a bit in here already. And I'm going to do the Yellowstone cornmeal, add that into the bowl, 1 tablespoon, just to add what I have. And I didn't add cornstarch to the first batter, so we're going to add that here. You can hear the potatoes sizzling in the back, and I'll show you what they look like when I turn them. So yeah, we're thinking like this, look. If God can bless man to go to the moon, then we have to trust that he can handle the situations that we come up upon. So yeah, we have to keep that in mind, you know, like when we're going through different things. Just say, look, if God can send man to let man go to the moon and come back to earth. Now, everybody that went up there didn't come back, but most of them had successful flights and they came back to talk about it. So I just added some cornstarch because I want that extra crispiness into the fish. So now I'm going to take my spoon and mix it all in. This is my batter. I'm just mixing it all in. And I'm going to test the oil in a minute. So we have the groundstone cornmeal. We have the unbleached flour. We have the cornstarch. And we have our seasoned porgy. It's seasoned on both sides. So we're going to get that in there. Let it get covered real good. You can use your hands. You want it to get covered real good. Now the secret with fish is that you don't move it around. You just let it cook. So I'm pressing in, you know, the cornmeal onto the fish. And I'm going to close it because there's a fold in the fish. If you don't, it won't get covered with the, and like I said, porgies do have bones. So if you're not a bone person for fish, so I'm going to take it over to the base and pat it a little bit. I'm just taking off the excess. I'm going to put my hand here, and it looks like the oil is nice and hot. I dropped a little bit in there, so I'm going to put the skin side down first. It's ready. You hear it? It's ready. It's doing what it needs to do. So the fish is in the pan. You don't touch it. I'm going to take the second piece. I had 2 pieces left. I figured I might as well cook it all up. and they've been seasoned. So I'm going to get this one into here. And this is how you cover it. You just cover it, you close it. You're going to have to close it, because if you don't, that little gap is not going to get any of the covering on it. Pat it down. And then when you get done, just wash your hands. And don't touch the fish. Let the fish cook. Don't move it around, flipping it before it needs to be flipped. And I'm telling you, these is going to be so good with those home fries for my lunch. So after I eat this, I might go out for a little walk or a little ride. Alright, so I have the second piece ready. I'm going to make room in the pan for it. I'm putting it skin down. And then the second piece is in the pan. So now I'm going to take my rag and I'm just going to clean up. You know, this stuff can be messy with the flour and the cornmeal, but that's expected, because guess what? You're cooking. So I'm going to take my little rag and just wipe up the little excess stuff that came. And like I said, I won't touch that fish until it's time to turn it. Get rid of this fishy stuff. Put this in the trash. Yeah, so I'm saying that, you know, we believe God can send astronauts to the moon. We certainly know he can handle our little problems. So we have the potatoes here on this burner here. I'm going to flip them a little bit to see if they're ready. The fish is in the first pan. I'll wipe this around. And I'm really not going to touch that fish until I'm ready to turn it. So, yeah, we just have to, you know, keep our faith where it needs to be. And, like I said, my husband's coming along. It's going to be a little process and a little journey, but guess what? It's going to be okay. Now, what I'm going to try to do is find a lid for this pan. We started browning some of them started browning, some of them haven't yet. And let these just cook. Let me show you how they started browning a little bit. See some of the browning on it. And these are the Yukon Gold. They're Yukon Gold potatoes. So they're a different texture than like your russet or your baked potato, your what is it, Idaho potato. It's a different texture. So pretty much I have everything pretty much going here already. So I'm going to take another sip of that. And I'm going to just read. They have a festival coming up. The Apollo 50th anniversary. You know, like I said, I'm intrigued with space, and you know, God gave a man ability to be able to go up into space and take those ships up into space and launch them rockets and go into another whole zone and atmosphere and then come back. So the anniversary is going to be in Nassau, the city of Nassau. And I'm hoping to be able to attend this event. Now, I don't know if it's going to be clear with the COVID-19 that we can actually go to these places, but it's going to be Saturday, July the 20th, and it's going to be from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. and it's all about NASA, all of the flights, astronauts, and all of those things are going to be talked about in this particular event. And if I can go, I would love to purchase tickets and go and see, you know, some of the stuff that they're going to be representing that day. So it's going to be at the Hilton, Nassau, Clear Lake. And they're going to have all kinds of different things that you can do once you get there. They're going to have a hors d'oeuvre and music, live music, like at 6 p.m. So they have an itinerary of the things that they're going to do to keep us busy as they, you know, go over the things that the astronauts represent. And then at 7:30 p.m. they're going to have an Apollo program. And then those that like to smoke cigars, which I wouldn't be a part of that, you know, they roll them up fresh. I'm going to turn this back just a little bit. They're going to have a live cigar rolling at 8 p.m. And then the grand finale is going to be at 8:56 p.m. And that's going to be a landing video from International Space Station on the harbor patio. So this is something I would love to be in. That's why I have on my Nassau shirt today, because I take an interest in space. And you know, I'm not into astrology. I don't do the signs and that, but I just like the, there's, you know, you got the planetary heaven, then you got the heaven, and then you got the earth heaven. So we can only see so far from where we are. And then they go beyond that, but they never make it to the third planetary, the heavenly heaven, because they can't burst through that. God's not going to let them come through there. So just, like I said, again, this place is going to be, it's their 50th anniversary, and it's going to be in the city of Nassau, Bay, and the Hilton, Houston, Apollo mission is what they're going to be doing there. And it's going to be Saturday, July 20th. So I'm really hoping and praying. Let me see what's going on with this fish. Let's see if we're ready to turn it. I'm really hoping and praying that I can make this event. I don't want to purchase the tickets too soon. We got, this is January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So I have like 6 months. So you just take a fork in there. I'm turning it. I could have left it down a little longer, but it's okay. I'll just reflip it again. If you want this nice and crisp. It's crisping, see it? I'm going to bring it in a little closer. That's the fish, and the potatoes in the back doing their thing. So like I said, I take an interest in things of Nassau. So this would really be something that I would love to go to. Now, whether I'll be able to attend, if it'll be feasible, you know, where you can get your tickets and get your flight and get there and be a part of something so spectacular. And you know they're going to pump it up. And then at the end of it, they're going to have a fireworks. That's going to be the real grand finale for this event. And they're going to have a display on the harbor patio. So this is something I would like to go to. I know everybody has different likes and they like different things that they're interested in, but this would really interest me. And I would love to be able to go and see all of the things that they're going to be representing on that day. So just a little information about Nassau, the space station, the Apollo 50th anniversary, a little background. Most of us know something about, you know, the space projects that we see on TV when they launch them. Some of them have not been successful. We've lost life because anything that advances, sometimes you have to, you know, sometimes life is lost in those times when you're trying to advance and move forward. So this is a little tidbit from 1981 to 2011. There were a total of 135 missions, and they were flown. And for those programs that were flown from 1981 to 2011, there were a total of 355 people representing 16 countries that took part in those flights for Nassau. So they had from 1981 to 2011, a total of 135 missions were flown from Nassau. And the program, a total of that program, a total of 355 people, they were representing 16 countries that took a part. So this is just little information, something that like I said, I take an interest in. So whatever your interest is, post it. Let me know what your interests are, and what would you like to do once this COVID-19 is lifted, that you enjoy doing this. You're hoping you can get back to. So the potatoes are really crisping up. I'm turning them a little bit. I put the onions also in the water when I started this. There they go. See how nice and brown they're getting? So they'll be done soon. The fish. Let's bring you back closer to that fish pan. The fish is right there, and it's doing its thing. I just flipped it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it I'm going to lift it. I'm going to lift it like this. Fold it back. Because it'll fold, you have to cook that part. That part is that crease. You don't want that not to be cooked. So the crease is now in the oil. And then when the crease is done, I'll open it back up. Look at that. Nice and brown. It's just about done. My Yukon gold potatoes. Look at that. And I took and put a little bit of the hamburger seasoning on that. Yeah, hamburger seasoning. I won't add any salt. And like I said, I found this new salt. It's a pink Himalaya salt. It's better than the white salt. Look at it. It's really pretty pink. It's little fine crystals. You can find it in your supermarket where your salts are. And another good salt is, excuse me, I told you this stuff was going to do that. The other salt, good salt, is iodine salt. No, not iodine, I'm sorry, sea salt. So you use but this is the best. The pink salt is the best. So I took my white salt this morning and I discarded it. I just totally got rid of that. And then for the fish, I have me a new bottle of hot sauce, Louisiana hot sauce. I'm going to use that on it when I have it to sit down and eat the meal. And I got me some yellow mustard, a little bit of that on it. And then of course, I have a little bit of the cornbread left over. I'm going to use that as well and have that with this lunch. So everything is just about done. I'm going to turn that light up under that fish. I'm going to open the fish back up, completely back up. I'm going to move that one over. I'm going to flip that back open. I'm going to flip this one back open, and then all I have to do is turn it back one more time, let the front finish crisping up, and voila, it's done. So you're pretty much seeing the finished product. The potatoes are just about done. Just a little more browning. I might just have to turn them this last time. The onions are in here. The Yukon gold potatoes, they're really sweet. They have a more like a yellow texture look. The onions, you see that? That's all done in there. So I'm going to put this back over here. And I'm going to flip the fish one more time and let you see what that's looking like. And then I'm going to dig in. So I just wanted to share that about you. God can let the astronauts go all the way up into space and come back to the earth. We can trust Him with our lives, our finances, our decisions, our spouses, like with my husband and all that he has going on. I'm still trusting God to turn it around, give us a miracle. And I know God is able. He's my husband. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be supportive. I'm going to give him all of the nurturing, spiritual, and wifely support that a wife gives to her husband. We've been married for 43 years, and that's a long time, and I love him. So I got him. I got his back. And he knows that. And I ask him that every day. You know I got you, right, boo? He said, yeah, I know you got me. So, let's see if the fish is ready to be turned this last time. Because if you get your oil nice and hot, alright, so we're going to flip this back over. And I'm going to lost a little piece of it, but it's all good, but that's wood. It's going to be good anyway. See? See how nice and brown that is? It's nice and brown. Look at that. The potatoes are getting nice and yellow. I mean, nice and crispy. So you have a little potato. You have your fish. And let me tell you, this will hold me. And like I said, I might go to a few stores today. I may not. I'm not quite sure yet. It is beautiful here. The sun is out. And let my place air out. Because you know that fish smell going to be in here. Here's those beautiful potatoes. Look at them. Nice brown and crispy. The onions and everything is already in there. And then when the fish comes out, I have this little wire tray with some foil on the bottom. Because you don't want to mess the skin up. So if you put it on paper towels, if you put it on something else like that, it'll mess with the crispiness of the skin. So when you take the fish out, try to have a wire rack and let it drain on that. Let the oil drain down into this pan. That way it won't take away your crispness. So I think I'm going to be able to take this out, the finished product, before I get off of here with the fish. But I want it nice, super crisp, because that's the way I like it. This side needs some more time. And the back of this side needs some more time. Yeah, so that's what's going to be for my brunch lunch today. So you can almost see the finished product. You see how nice and brown that fish is when you hold it up for you. Very cautiously. See that? It's done just about. I just need that little cornmeal to cook on the inside a little more. Just a little more. And I'm going to have to flip this one again and take this back because there's still some cornmeal on the fold. And I don't want to taste that. So I'm going to take this piece off. And these two pieces are done. So here's a piece of the done side up. Shake the oil off. Skin side up. Here's the other piece. Nice and crisp, skin side up. I'm going to leave the bigger pieces in there a little longer. There's my fried porgy. That's the piece that was folded over. And you have to get in the creases or you'll have all that cornmeal bunched up in there. And for the last time, these are the Yukon gold potatoes with onions. Crisp, delicious. And I'm going to have this. And everybody have a blessed day. Peace.